Do I have it, guys? Tell me yes. Tell me I'm on. I think what the problem was is I was logged into the Clean Living Lab, and that's why I couldn't do this. Looks like I got some thumbs up. No problem. We're fastened in our seats ready. You are when you are. Okay, am I live, guys? Let me know. Let's fix this a little. I think I am, but I'm not sure. Put my glasses on so I can see something. Looks like we have our beautiful butterfly Patricia. And of course, we've got Dan, Love and Light fam. Dan, you have become so special to me since we've started this. It's just amazing. Um, let's see. I just love seeing the love between you guys. Okay, here's my XO man, Mark. Mark, what's with these XOs? I can't ever. Are they loves? Are they XO hugs and kisses? I hope. X Files? Don't know. Thought I had another crowd. Was me. Launch live. Okay, so we're good to go. Looks like we're good to go, right? 5-5. I don't know what that means. Okay, we got 11 people on and 3. All right. Hello, everyone. Hi, Jeff. I'm so glad you made it. So we got Jeff, we got Den, we got Patricia. We got lots more that are lurking in the background. I don't know who they are. I'd love to hear from them. And we've got Mark. I can't forget Mark. I don't know where Vixen is. I was hoping she'd make it because she's always a great addition. All right, we're good. All right, so lots and lots is happening, isn't it, guys? I made some notes. Now, you guys tell me what you think, because you guys have been absolutely wonderful. Susan Nachman from Israel. Susan's such a great supporter, and she said that that they're a little long and they have to be cut up to be shorter because most people won't look at 3 hours, obviously. But I can't. Oh, Mary, hi, Mary. Mary made it too. Yes, lots happening. So, what you guys tell me what you think. She was suggesting maybe 90 minutes. My problem is I can't edit these afterwards. This is like a function in YouTube where we do it live and then it just automatically takes care of everything. That's why how I can get them up so quickly. So let's see if we can do some not if we can get through 90 minutes, but I will stay here as long as you guys need. So don't worry about that. All right. Let me run over some of the news real quick. How's that? See if you've heard of it. Okay, the first thing is the ringing in the ears has started again. So I don't know. I'm checking on that vibrationally, what's going on. But the last 3 days, I have had one time during meditation, I've had the ringing in the ears, and that had stopped for me for some time. It's been a couple months since I had it really bad. Let me know if any of you guys are experiencing that again, and I'll look into what the possibility is of what could be happening. All right, so let's see. Okay, the big one is, I think it's big. Okay, so what's happening is something's going down soon with the election, I think, and this is going to change things in such a way, guys. First of all, there's something known as the Election Assistance Commission. And right now, Trump has taken everybody off of it. It's basically, there were 4 people on it. The Republican Donald Palmer was the 4th member, and he voluntarily left the commission on April 2026 to join the Heritage Foundation, which, if you remember, is that 2025. Remember that whole thing? The Heritage Foundation is a far right-wing group of some kind. So Palmer left for that. Then a Democrat named Thomas Hicks was nominated by Obama in 2015, and he was fired by email on July 9th. Another Democrat, Benjamin Hovland, was nominated by Trump in 2019, and he was also fired by email on July 9th. And then Christy McCormick was another Republican, and she was nominated by Obama, though, and she was also allowed to resign on July 2026. So something's going down. It's kind of like you guys were supposed to be part of this whole election thing. What's going on? Why is it, why do we have all this fraud? And the Senate confirmation to replace these 4 seats takes months, weeks to months. So there's no replacements have been announced, and I think that we're looking at another dissolution of another slush fund agency, let's call it. Maybe it's not slush fund, but another agency that we don't need, another way to reduce big government. But that's not the big thing. The big thing is that Thursday night, July 16th at 9 p.m. Eastern, Trump is going to be releasing reports of the 2020 election interference. And he will be declassifying, I don't know whether it'll be at that time or shortly afterwards, he'll be declassifying thousands of election records. He will be joined by CIA Director John Ratcliffe, Acting DNI Bill Pulte, FBI Director Kash Patel, and DHS Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen. Trump is allegedly set to announce that Democrat Senators John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock of Georgia were illegitimately elected due to massive fraud. And also some other things that are in the works. I don't know whether he's going to discuss them or not, but they've come out recently, is that Detroit, they discovered that almost 27,000 absentee ballots were unlawfully counted in the 2020 election. And that's not all. Illinois State Representative Carol Ammons, a Democrat, and her husband, Champaign County Clerk Aaron Ammons, was indicted on federal charges for allegedly using campaign donations for personal use and directing state grants to organizations which paid their daughter. I think I might have mentioned that the other day. But now it's tying in with this announcement that Thursday night, Trump at 9 p.m. is going to be doing a special announcement about election fraud. So everybody wants to be there. We'll definitely cover that. Oh, Tahoe's here. Hi, Tahoe. It's actually afternoon in my time, but it kind of feels like morning sometimes because I am up all night. Hi, Tony. How are you doing, Tony? Yep, President Obama. He was a bummer, wasn't he? But things are getting better. If he brought up QFS, medbeds, it's not time yet. And let me tell you why. I've got another thing that I think you guys need to look at. The election fraud has to go down first, because what's going to happen then is in November, we've got to tear down these machines, find SCOTUS having some kind of edict about these machines being not legal or something like that. I don't know what the deal is, but we've got to do something there. It's long past time about this election. You're absolutely right, Jeff. So the reason I say it's not time yet is, for those of you who are Anons, I don't know, I know some of you are newer Anons, some have been Anons for a while, but I'm going to switch the screen. Let me put this up here. And I want to talk about something that many may have never heard of. Let's see if I can get this up here. It does, there, okay. All right. Now let me see if I can switch this. That's going to be right here. See if I can find it. Hang on, bear with me a sec. Well, I got a lot of things open, don't I? It's not there. Hang on. Alien artifacts. I have so many windows open, guys. Oh, and Tim and I went to see the movie Disclosure. I want to talk about that too. Whatever the name of it is, Disclosure something. Disclosure Day movie. And it was not what I expected at all. Let me see if I can pull this over and get this for you a little better. Hang on, is that it? Darn, where is it? I hate when I don't know what I'm doing. Isn't that terrible? That can go away. We talked about that last week. There it is. All right, let me bring it a little closer to the stream and maybe it'll come up when I pick it. There we go. Okay, it's this one. All right, now I want you guys to look at this. For those of you that are Anons and used to follow Q, or one of the big things we always heard about was, I'm hoping, are you guys looking at this image that I have right now? You should be. Let's see. Yep, you're looking at it. Okay. So for many of us that were Anons way back in the day, We always heard that the collapse of the Three Gorges Dam was one of the final markers before basically, you know what, hits the fan, okay? And we're hearing a lot about all these floods in China and what's going on there. There's apparently 2 locations, and I created this graphic for you so that you could understand what's happening with this dam. Let's see. Yes, I can blow it up some. All right, so what you have is Pacific Ocean is over here. Hopefully you can see my little cursor there. The Pacific Ocean is to the right. And what is supposed to happen is this dam right here protects 3 areas of flooding: the Zealing Gorge on the bottom, the Wu Gorge, and the Qtang Gorge. And that's what this dam is supposed to do. Well, the problem is, and it's massive, it's, I think, the largest in the world. Along this back area here, there's lots of sediment, which has made it even more flooding if the water gets past the dam into that area, right? And of course, the dam is supposed to bring the water down from there. But the problem is, when you see that reservoir capacity right there, right now, there is 1.8 billion tons of sediment that's been occurring there. So it's building up. If you look at this lower one here, where I'm pointing, let's see if you can see that. I'll bring it up. I hope this is working, guys. All right. So see what happens when that inflow comes into the dam. There's only the really cool thing about this is that this dam generates lots and lots of electricity. You can see right here under this inset map here, the power outage. That's how much of China gets power from the functioning of this dam. And then this map here shows where the 2 current flooding areas are. And where I'm putting my cursor right now is the approximate location right in here of that dam. Okay? So there's tributaries and stuff that go off on there. But what's happening is this sediment has built up here. And when so much water is coming down, because this is all flooding here from the sedimentation, right? From this zone here of it's actually eroded and sediment. And then there's also sediment underneath the dam itself in the reservoir. So when the reservoir gets filled up with sediment, this inflow happens that's coming towards it. It can't, there's not enough turbines to create the electricity for all of that water there that's backing up. So what happens is they have spillways. And when those spillways occur, then this area starts flooding. So we've got 2 major areas of flooding here. Actually, because what happens, Wuhan is the choke point. See this? Wuhan choke point. You maybe can't see it because of that, but it's very narrow there. So what happens is that's why this dam occurred, because it all backs up there. Okay, so you got 2 major areas of flooding. You got probably, I'd say, 1/3 of the country could be out of power. That's going to be the last thing before the you-know-what hits the fan. So that's why I say we're not ready yet. Watch the water, guys. If you're a QAnon, you know, watch the water. And I've always believed that this was the water that we had to watch. Because when that dam, and there is lots and lots of reports. There's Chinese news casts that are freaking out about this, and they have major concerns about this. They're seeing cracks. They're actually seeing the side walls here of the dam along here. Actually, it's here going across here, but those side walls are all eroding too. So it used to be a straight line, of course, of concrete where it was built, and that's all coming out, and they're finding cracks in that surface. Don't forget that we're talking about, when we talk about the collapse of the dam, we're not talking about a major collapse. We're talking about a failure of its ability to hold back the waters and create the electricity for that facility. When that happens, there's going to be a blackout there. And I wonder if that's going to trigger a blackout worldwide that we've heard about. I don't know yet, but just something to keep in mind. I've been watching. Hi, sweet Tim. I see you, my love. Three Gorges Dam. Yes, we need to review. So that's where we're at on that, Patricia. The Three Gorges Dam is experiencing flooding again. Chinese news channels are coming on, and they have major concerns with that dam. Tim, Patricia said hi. Hi, Mark. Boo to you too. I love those things. Tony Cobbins, cute-hearted. We're all cute-hearted. The energy produced to mine Bitcoin. Oh, is that what it's about then? They're mining Bitcoins. So that adds another layer to this whole thing, doesn't it? It is huge. It's really huge. And that's the water that we're watching. So that's why I say this election fraud, don't get too excited regardless of what people say, because we've got to wait for the damn failure to happen. Now, let's see what else I've got here on my notes. Let me just check your notes here. The election fraud sure would be nice. Brought up, yeah, but that's not going to happen yet. Although, you do know, Jeff, that he wrote an executive order, I want to say last week or the week before, to step up quantum research. So he's going to be throwing money into the quantum stuff. And we did have that announcement basically not long ago. Okay, so let's go down here. All right, so my next note that I have here is, let's see. Okay, this is big on the food. This is actually more for the Clean Living Lab, but since this is more news and I don't have any lives going on at the Clean Living Lab yet, we have to build it up a little bit more. This is pretty big. Florida AG James Othmeyer issued civil subpoenas to General Mills and Pillsbury to investigate potassium bromate in flour products that are sold in the state. Now, you know, if they're sold in Florida, they're sold nationwide. So Florida's taking the lead on this and bringing attention. The big thing is they're putting them in schools, and they are investigating this under the Deceptive and Unfair Trade Practices Act. Potassium bromate is a dough conditioner in bakery flours, and it's classified as possibly carcinogenic to humans by the IARC and banned. It's been banned in the EU since 1990, been banned in Canada since 1994, and several other countries due to cancer, DNA damage, and oxidative stress concerns. So the probe that Othmeyer is doing, it seeks details on products that are sold, the top distributors or purchasers of it, of the ingredient, disclosures and safety research, marketing, the start of efforts to boost food supply transparency for Florida families, but we know it will go nationwide. So I think that's really a good thing. RFK, why is this depressing, Mark? No depressing. Here's the thing. This is what I always tell people that people don't get. All of this is coming out under Trump, right? And the Democrats, we're going to talk about what's going on with Congress and SCOTUS in a minute, but the Democrats are taking this, what's happening now, as what Trump is exposing, and his administration, it's not just him, but all of the people that he put in place, what they're exposing, and the left is trying to blame it on Trump like he had something to do about it. No, these people have been in Congress for 30, 40 years. This FDA has been going on forever. Trump is simply exposing it. So the way I tell people to look at it, and Patricia, maybe you can help Mark with this, is that I always frame things as, it's the end. We were ignorantly bliss for decades about all this stuff, and it's finally stopping. It's finally being caught. The money's being cut off that's doing all this stuff to us. The people are being arrested. There's so much going on. So it's not a time to be depressed. It's a time to rejoice, because these demons are finally being stopped. That's how I see it. It's not depressing at all. Don't even think about that, Mark. It's not depressive at all. To me, it's one of the great, it is. Well, of course, I have to think about my daughter's birth, and but as far as politically, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to this world in general, is what's happening right now. So it's not depressive. It's depressing. It's very uplifting to me to know that these SOBs are being stopped. They're being stopped, they're being cut off at every angle, and they're freaking out. Which brings me to the next topic here, which I'll move ahead. Okay, so I don't know if you saw, but SCOTUS, two members of SCOTUS, they were the Democrat, what's her name, Kagan, and the Rhino, Amy Comey Barrett, were testifying before the House Appropriations Subcommittee on Financial Services and General Government. Now, mind you, the Supreme Court, no one from the Supreme Court has testified before Congress since 2019, okay? It's a long time. And there's been recently long-term pressure, there's been long-term pressure from the Democratic leadership to put these people in front of the Congress, these so-called committees for transparency. Anybody know who this is? I know Timmy knows. You're not allowed to say it, Tim. Okay, so, of course, let me see if I can come up with this one for you, because this makes me almost puke every time I see it, but it will help put in perspective who these people are. I did it. Is this it? No. Oh, I think I put it on a separate thing. Hold on. Bear with me. Maybe I didn't. Anybody know who Rosa DeLauria is? She's that one with the purple hair that is just so vile and nasty. I can't find the picture, but I'm sure you guys have seen this woman. She's got the purple streaks in her hair, and she's been in Congress a really long time. She's been in Congress. DeLauria is 83 years old, and she's been in Congress 35 years, since 1991. Now, all of a sudden, they have to call the SCOTUS before the Supreme Court, right? They never have before. Also, a guy named Steny Hoyer, who recently just announced his retirement. Well, in January, he announced that he's retiring from Congress. So these two Democrats, the one with the purple hair and this old man that is finally retiring, called the SCOTUS before this Appropriations Committee. And that's because SCOTUS has requested approximately $230 million for 2027 extra money. And this is about 14 to 15 million is supposed to be spent for expanding protective activities for the justices' families and residences. Now, I don't know about you. I've heard a little bit about them, but I've actually heard more about ICE having more attacks on them than the SCOTUS members. Why aren't the Democrats there saying ICE needs more protection? Let's throw some money at them. What could possibly be their reason, right? Well, the other $207 million is for salaries and expenses. Like they don't make enough, right? It turns out that the Chief Justice makes $320,700 a year, and associate justices make $306,600. So over $300K for anybody sitting on that panel, sitting on that court, which to me seems more than fair. So in addition to that money, 18.1 is for the care of the building and the grounds, 18.1 million. Okay, so I sat, you know how I do with the AI, right? And I said, assuming, I always give them the assuming, right? Assume that these justices are working for the control complex, the dark control complex. Why in the world would they now be calling SCOTUS members when they haven't done it since 2019? Why is it all such an imminent thing? I got some kind of interesting answers on this, guys, which surprised me. If I could ever find it, of course. I'm still learning all this stuff, guys, so you got to bear with me. I'm a little slow doing my best. Let me see if I can remember them because I can't actually find it. Is it here? Let's see. When I was freaking out about the camera going out at the last minute. Oh, and I got stuff on Xena Shrek too. I know somebody was talking about Xena Shrek, and you guys caught me. I thought you were talking about Shrek movies or something. I had no idea. But I do have something. I did a little research on that for you too. But let me finish this up about why they might be causing. I'm going to have to wing it from what I read. Okay, so one of the reasons that the AI came up with a potential for why they're doing this is because they're exerting some kind of message that we have control over you, having to make them come in and ask for this money and justify what they're doing with it. Also, they grilled them about recent decisions that they made regarding POTUS's authority over the independent agencies. Specifically, in this case, it was FTC decision, and there was one other decision, but they brought them in to grill them and to exert power over them, saying, look, here's the deal. Also, since it's for security, it's almost kind of like a backhanded thing, like you guys are going to need security, or, you guys better play ball, because you're going to need security. So this I found very odd that they brought these people in front, the two Democrats, which they've never done. And I'm going to erase this. I got my notes all over the place. And so watch that too. SCOTUS could be changing soon. And I'm also wondering, because what we've always seen as the administration has always used this tactic of giving them enough rope and then reeling them in. So I can't help but think that whatever these people are testifying in front of Congress could be used against them as well, because it's awful odd to me that Barrett and Kagan are the two that are before there. So that's just something to keep in mind. Another big thing that happened, ICE busted 8 perverts. No, 14 perverts at the World Cup. They found 8 missing children. Yay! See, this is the thing, guys. This is the thing, Mark. We rejoice over this. It shouldn't make us angry or depressed. These children have been in tunnels. They've been abused by these perverts for ages. And tens of thousands of these poor children are being rescued. So that's really something to rejoice. So World Cup bust, in case you don't know, all of these, not all, but many of these huge events like the Super Bowl and stuff were always the stomping ground for the pervs, and a lot of abuse. Everybody inside, so to speak, knew that they could go there and have their way with trafficked people, children, adults, whatever, they don't care, during these events. It's, who else can pay that kind of money? What is it, $5,000? I don't know, but it's thousands of dollars for a ticket to go see a stupid game. So they busted them. They set up a sting at the World Cup, and they busted some pervs. That's a really good thing. And then, I'll save that one for last. Let me check the channel, see how we're doing here. The feed, see how we're doing. What's Mark say? Ice baby. Yep, ice baby. You're right. They're doing great. Hi, Dale. Good to see you, Dale. Oh, yes, I heard about that. The new Iraqi guy is at the White House. And so you have to remember that a lot of these people, I think I said this in a recent something. I don't even remember. I'm just going. But when Trump did the capitulation tour, some of these people, I think I talked about this last week, some of them were very resistant, and they pretty much had to be grabbed by where to and shown some evidence against them to capitulate. Others were very anxious to capitulate. And I know the Middle Eastern countries, some of those were very anxious. So that's really great that he's huge in the RV. They have that oil that they should be compensated for. That it doesn't have to be gold. We are winning. Everything's being exposed. Patricia, thank you for mentioning that to Mark. It's got to go slow. I know you're waiting for your bed, Mark, and we all are. Trust me. Oh, the connection's down. Anybody? Is the connection down? No, I don't think so. Let me know if the connection went down or if it stays up. Connection up, guys? It says live. It says I'm going. So I'm going to keep blabbing. Tim just texted me and said that I'm down. I'm on. Okay, I'm on. Good. Gotcha. Hi, Helen. Hey, beautiful. How are you doing, sweetheart? Okay, I didn't know you were here. I love when you guys let me know who's here because I want to be able to talk to you guys directly. Okay, good. Tahoe's here. Okay, back on. Maybe it dropped for a second, or Tim's phone or whatever. Okay, so anyway, I was talking about how these we were talking about SCOTUS. Not SCOTUS. We were talking about Iraq meeting at the White House, and that apparently they're working with us, Dan says, on the RV. I hadn't heard that, but that's why this is a community. We all hear different things and we check them. You'll be waiting for a while on that. I don't know if it's a while, Jeff. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling that it's hard to say. I'm kind of feeling it'll be next year, but what I know is Dan left us, okay? Dan had recently told me that he secured the core of the free energy frill generator. Does that have anything to do with it? I don't know, because he told me he wasn't aware of a widespread effort for free energy, but he created the device. Maybe that'll be used by others. I don't know. Let's see. Wait, I have to get down to those questions. 14 children. No. Yes. No, it's not 14 children. I think it's 8 children. It was 8 children and 14 perverts that were arrested at the World Cup. Okay. Thank you, Dale. Yep, it will. 2-time cancer survivor, but still fighting to the breath. Oh. Hey, you know what? My dad was cured of it twice too. So look into the P53. I think I did a video on it. Search my videos for the P53 complex. I have foods in there, and that's on this channel. It's an older video, but the P53 is well documented in science, and it actually is a system within our body that fights cancer. And there's ways that we can fight the P53. We should be eating like that all the time, especially with all this garbage that's going on that we know is carcinogenic. So check out P53, okay? And you don't have to get it back. You don't have to get it back. Let's see. AG, so SCOTUS told 26 state AGs back after the election that we the people have no standing. I don't know. I don't know where that comes from. They're coming up with different decisions. Some are in the favor of the people. I mean, look what the decision for that they did last week with the FTC was big. These people, every time he wanted to hire somebody and bring these reptiles out into light and get rid of them, get them out of any control position, he was met over and over and over again. So that decision was pretty strong. Other than the Fed, and I think that's going to happen because he's going back. Immediately after they said that he could fire the FTC leaders, but not the Fed leaders, all of a sudden we start hearing about billboards for a hospital in Texas that is advertising birthright citizenship for X amount of dollars. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but there's billboards on the Mexican border for this hospital saying, come over, we'll set you up to have your baby here. So I think they're bringing that before SCOTUS again for a revisit of that whole issue. Okay, good. Hanging in there. I know you are, Helen. I know you are, sweetie. Um, no, the beds are not being mass produced by Tesla. I can tell you 100% that that's not happening. Um, Everything we know about these beds is they are extraterrestrial technology. We don't know enough about um, the sacred geometry and the energy generation yet to do it on our own. And we're being trained underground. I believe one of the places that we're being trained is in Alabama at Redstone Arsenal underground. We've heard this many times, and we will be making our own at some point. But there's many types of med beds. There's not one type. There's many, many, many types. The ones that I understand we're getting are the holographic ones. This is what I did with Dan's video. He's the one that turned me on to that right off the bat. So they're not being mass produced by Tesla. What we have heard, and there may be some underground on this planet, but we've been told now for some time that they are being stored on the moon. I know it sounds weird, guys, but we have to forget everything we've been lied to about. We've been there. We've probably got colonies. Who knows? Who knows what's going on? Maybe not there, but there's much more going on than what we've been told. And to my knowledge, I've never heard anything about Tesla being involved with the med beds themselves. Now, yes, with the implants, the Neuralink implants, but that's a temporary thing, I believe, and it's antithetical to the whole concept of the med beds. The med beds won't be implanting anything in us. So Neuralink, now he did that. Maybe some people needed immediate help. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't privy. He may not still be privy to the med beds. I don't know. But they're not going to, I don't think they're going to be made by Tesla in any way. I think they're going to be made, they are being made, and then at some point, certain companies will receive contracts to make our own, but I don't think it'll be Tesla. Trying to keep up with all your great info. Let's see. Okay, I got something coming up there. Let me see. All right. So Taha says, is there a certain brand if apricot kernels really work? Sorry, trying to keep up with all your great info. The apricot kernels, that's long time one where they use that. Let me just check. Let's see. The evidence on apricot kernels and cancer. How you doing, sweetie? Okay, I hope. I know it's high demand. We'll go over here. Tell me about evidence of apricot kernels. I mean, it can't hurt, right? And cancer. And is there a purity issue with extraction or production? Let's just check. We'll come back to that in a minute. Let me finish up what I had here, and we'll come back to that in just a second. Okay, another thing is a federal appeals court in Texas just ended in-state tuition for illegals. We're not paying for your education anymore, okay? I can't believe we were to begin with, but you know how that goes. All right, and then the big one. Where's Waldo? Let me see if I can find the picture I did. Tell me what you think about this, guys. Yeah, let me move it over here. So I was on X the other day, and I don't know if you guys have seen the meme of McConnell in the bed with his wife, and people put John Denver's face on it. So this was my meme right here. Tell me what you think. He's finally back. Elvis is back. He hasn't left the building. So I was playing around and I did that one. Isn't it the truth? It's just ridiculous. So the other thing I wanted to say is, so McConnell, he's so gone. He's been gone for a long time. How many people have you ever seen that just freeze up like their battery just ran out? And then sometimes he gets kicked back in. They'll say something to him and he'll get moved back. But the last time I saw him, he actually had to be moved off the stage because they couldn't retrieve him again. I think the guy's been gone a long time. I rarely get into things about clones and stuff because there's just not enough evidence on it. But seeing that man and how he was operating looked like plenty of evidence to me that something funky is going on with him. And his wife was in China and she doesn't come home when her husband has a heart attack. The whole thing was funky. The other one is, where's Maxine Walters? This woman hasn't been in Congress for 7 months, but keeps voting by proxy. How is this allowed? This woman is receiving $174,000 a year and she never shows up. How many of us, she's only missed 4 to 7% of the votes and not been there. Now, how does that happen? And it should be illegal. Somebody's got to get on to that one real quick. Okay, and then Mandami's trying to raise his salary from $258,750 to what SCOTUS makes, which is $305,800. So it's just crazy. All right, now let's get back. Before I move on, let me see if I have. That one was high demand. Here we go. Yeah, that's right. Laetrile. Remember the Laetrile clinics in Mexico? That's what the apricot kernels are. And it says it's B17 is what they call it. Vitamin B17. And it's also it's called amygdalin, and we've heard about that for a long time. And synthetically, it's Laetrile. So when they make it synthetically, which they do in Mexico, it's called Laetrile. So the mechanism that it's supposed to work by is when you take it, and again, I would go by eat apricots. Eat apricots, take and dry that kernel up and smash it yourself to make sure there's no chemicals going in there. That's the problem I see with when people buy these products. Eat apricots. So it says, when it's ingested, the body breaks down amygdalin into several compounds, one of which is hydrogen cyanide. Now, major health institutions, including the National Cancer Institute, which means nothing to me, and the FDA, which means even less to me, have thoroughly reviewed the clinical studies and have concluded that there's no evidence. There you go. What a shock. Now, it says that there's a danger. The production of cyanide in the body can lead to cyanide poisoning. So you definitely don't want to overdo. Symptoms, so that you know, symptoms of toxicity can include headache, dizziness, nausea, vomiting, confusion, and in severe cases, respiratory failure or death. So you don't want to use a synthetic product at all, but eat the apricots. The risk is significantly higher when the kernels are consumed in large quantities or processed incorrectly. So as far as the educational content, there is no industry-wide standardization if you buy it for the concentration of the amygdalin. So it sounds kind of risky. I would go back to what we were just talking about, and that is the P53. Learn to feed our bodies so they heal themselves. The P53 system is not, I'm going to put that in there for you guys, but you can easily search P53 and it should come up. But since we have several of you that might be in need, I want you to understand this system. It's the body's own mechanism to fight it. And, we can keep taking all this stuff from the outside, but we've got to learn to clean out our body. Patricia was talking to me in a chat earlier, and it's very clear she's beginning to she's beginning to develop some of the powers of her pineal gland. And that's really important. She's changed her diet, and she's moving, and she's doing all these things. She's cutting out the plastics, and she's beginning to get these unspoken narratives or discussions, and these thoughts coming to her, and that's a good sign that her pineal gland is opening up. So guys, clean your body out. Stop eating the crap. I swear it's the most important thing. Let's see what you guys got some talking going on. Elvis, I know my mom loved Elvis. That's what made me think about that. All right, so let me go back a little bit. Okay, so I wouldn't say, Tahoe, to use a certain brand of them. Don't do that. Eat apricots. And what I do with avocado pits is you can take those pits, let them dry out, and then squash them up in a mortar and pestle, shave them with a grater or something to get the powders, and do it that way rather than taking quantities where there could be side effects to them. And not only that, but if you're making something that is being produced by big pharma, because every vitamin manufacturer is the new big pharma. So if you're making something, there's extraction issues and stuff where they use chemicals, and those chemicals are actually in the products that they're producing. It's very hard to clear out all of it. So I would do the kernels, and I would definitely start eating to boost your P53 system. We'll link that. Yes, Patricia, I heard they were being stored on the moon. That came from, I believe, Dan or Elena. One of them said that. If we've reverse engineered technology on the UFOs, I'm sure Tesla can reverse engineer these med beds. Never say they are doing it or anything with Neuralink. They're not going to say they are doing it. You're right. They never, ever, ever do. And that there's security issues. Is it possible? Maybe. I think he's got a purpose, and that purpose is to make us multiplanetary. And yes, he's got the cars, he's got all this stuff going on. He's doing amazing things. And you have to wonder. I thought about this because I've always been very suspicious of him with his mother's background, but he never went to the Bilderberg meetings, never. So that tells me something. He's not in there with the rubbing elbows with these people that are trying to control the world, at least not in Bilderberg meetings. And he, of all people, with his technological background, would be one of the ones that they would want in there. I'm kind of leaning to the side that he's a good guy, although he ticked me off with the whole Starlink issue. So I think we have reversed the technology of the UFOs, but everything we know to this day, and that gets me to this movie that I told you about. Anything's possible. Let's put it that way. We're watching a movie, guys. Just dealing with the insurance runaround. We did that. We did that with my dad, and they wouldn't pay for it. It was United Healthcare. They refused to pay for his cancer treatments. I called the newspaper. I called every newspaper and television stations. We got on the front page of I think it was the St. Pete Times or the Tampa Tribune. Within less than a week, all of his bills were paid. So if they're not paying, become the stinking coat. If you guys don't know what a stinking coat is, it's that nasty guy that stands in line at the bank and everybody tries to step away from him, and the clerk calls him to another window just to get him out of the bank. Become the stinking coat where they want to get rid of you. And believe me, it's worth it just to pay you off than to get I know that. We were on the front page of the newspaper, and we had my dad there. We had all of the drugs that he was on all over the table. It was just very, very good. What is that, Tony? I don't know what that is. Let's see. Yeah, bad clone. He definitely, there's no doubt that if Mikado is a clone or whatever he was, that, yeah, he's really, really, he was installed to run the Republican rhinos is what he was, and to hold back the Republicans. So to me, him disappearing will be the greatest thing that we could have happen. Tesla healed himself after being hit by a car using frequency. I know. And I truly believe it could be done. We'll create new limbs. Yes. Yes, you're absolutely right. Did you see the video on, it really explained a lot with what Dan told me, or emails. It's the last email with Dan that I released. It's several of them where he talks about specifically from Jen Han where how the beds work. If you haven't seen that, it's amazing. You want to look at that. He gave me a lot of information. Okay, cloning is the reason you brought up Xena and Taylor Swift. All right, let me answer that. Apparently, I did some homework on this. I don't know where the heck I can find it now, but I remember it. I remember some things every now and then. Okay, so Xena apparently rebuked her father at a very young age, at about 18, and she started coming out just the opposite. So she is his daughter, but she is apparently, she's gone into seclusion. She doesn't want anything to do with the whole satanic stuff. And So I don't think she's being used against us in any way. Taylor, it wouldn't surprise me in the least bit if everything that they say is going on, but I could not find that video of not Reese Witherspoon, the other one, the cute little blonde. You know her name because you told me. But I searched to find something for her where she might have said that, what was going on there, and I can't find anything. So it's not public. If it is, it wouldn't surprise me in the least bit if there was some. What you guys have to remember is that for me, this I think Elon is not of this world. Also, Tony, I believe that. The thing that you have to remember, guys, is all of this drinking the adrenochrome and the torture and all this stuff. This has been going on for a very, very long time, and I know for people that are new to this, that it's horrifying, and you want to know more. Nothing would surprise me at all because I've been watching this you know what show for a very, very long time. I've known about the adrenochrome. I've seen the pictures of the poor children. I've seen some really, really dark stuff, guys. That so to me personally, I don't think they were, because I think it's too locked down right now for them to do that in the middle of Madison Square Gardens. I just think that if it's being done still, the adrenochrome and stuff, it's being done in private sets, it's private parties and stuff like that. It's possible that they were doing it, that they had a ritual there. It was certainly all closed up so nobody could see what was going in. The NDAs is kind of odd, but these people are weird. I don't know. I would be surprised if they were committing a sacrifice right there in New York. But one thing to remember is it was New York, wasn't it? Where this Mandani guy, or whatever his name is, Mandani, I don't even know how to pronounce it. So it was there, which is kind of peculiar as well. It's possible, but it's very, very risky for them to be doing that in the open right now. Patricia says, I hope all these people who have not served the people, their country, or their oath have been dealt with. Some have and some haven't, I think. I think there's some that are still out there that are real. I don't buy all the QAnon. You have to remember that what you're saying, Patricia, is the QAnon stuff, that they were all killed a long time ago, and anything's possible, okay? It also came from the Real News Network. And by Michael, I forget his last name. Is it possible that these people are all clones? Remember, the more there are, the more risk there is. So there's a lot of these demons still around. There's a risk that just like what happens with McConnell could happen. They, every time you do that, there's a risk of exposure. So if it were me, I would limit it to only the key figures that had any power, not these little nobodies, not this woman with the purple hair. She's nobody but a fly on, a gnat in my face, as far as I'm concerned, in the face of the country. So it is going to end, Jeff. I understand. And I believe me, here's the thing. If you understand the holographic nature of the world, which was detailed in the Gateway Experience document by the Army, the study that was done by the Army. It's a given, guys. Anybody who doesn't understand that we are light and that we are a projection of light, you haven't seen the evidence yet, because it's strong. It's very strong. And when the Army comes out and says it's pretty much a foregone conclusion, then you got to believe it. We are an energetic projection, guys. So it's so important that we project the right reality on us. It was also in the movie Men in Black 3. If you remember that, I think he was an Arcturian, that guy that could see the future. He said it right there, that there are literally millions of realities for each of us that could occur. And every time we make a move, it cuts off some of those realities and heads us in the direction of another. And then we have another move that sets us off in that direction. It's really, really important to create your reality, guys. If you haven't seen that movie, watch it, because I found it really, really good. That will be interesting, Mark. That just popped in front of me, and I believe you're right. I think she will sacrifice her firstborn if it's still happening then. If it's still happening then. So what I can say, Jeff, is learn about holographic projection. Learn about who we really are. It sounds whacked. It sounds whacked that this hand that I can break the finger of is light. But it's been proven over and over and over again that that projection solidifies and creates matter. That light projection solidifies. So project what you want. Laugh. That's why laughter is healing. That's why repetition, positive thoughts. Maybe what we need to do is, and I know, Jeff, you haven't been on the channel as long as some, but there is a reason that affirmations occur, why they're effective. And Tim is one. I don't know if he's on here right now, but Timmy is one that he was doing his affirmations, and I could literally see a change in him coming home every day. And now it takes a while, but it's manifested that he did these affirmations, and now he's got his own channel going, and hopefully a way for him to get out of this bad job that he's in. So try some affirmations, create them. I'm happy to work with you guys however I can. Just post on the board. I need some affirmations, Spirit, and I'll post them right there for you. Very specified for your condition. Let's see. Years ago, they were saying everyone will be involved, from Brad Pitt, Jennifer Aniston, Jay-Z, Beyonce, but we all wait, wondering if they are now clones or what. I don't think they're clones. No, I don't think Brad Pitt. Who cares? You know, what can he do? What power does he have? I don't think he is, but I do believe that he's dark, and I believe that not everyone, not every single one in Hollywood is. Obviously, we know that that's not clear from that's not true from some of the people that we're seeing. There was one. Remember that superstar girl? Well, she won one of these talent shows, and she was a dark-haired girl, very pretty girl. She never made it big, but she McVie was her name, I think. McVie. Hi, Wolfie. Wolfie's coming down to join the show. Her last name was McVie. She never made it big, did she? But Jennifer Hudson, she made it real big. She got that movie offer, and what? She has a family member that is off somehow. So I don't think it's all, but I think there's a large portion. We always heard the number 70% in Congress. And I would say that we're probably looking at 70% in Hollywood as well. Susan, hi, Susan. Good to see you. If we have the EBS, I'm hoping that they don't show horrific pictures of children. I came across some accidentally and cannot forget them. I know. It will haunt you if you ever see what was done with these children, and not even just the children. There's beings. I've seen pictures of beings that are half human, and it's a very, very sad thing. Susan, what I want you to remember, sweetheart, is that from what I can see, watching this all unfold, before Trump got in the second term, I didn't understand how they were going to be able to do this, how they were going to be able to expose this, because I always knew that everything would come out. But I also see that every step is being taken to minimize the trauma to the people. That's why we didn't just collapse. If you looked at that study, that Catherine McVie, that's the one, I don't think she sold her soul because she never made it big. But if you, wait, hold on, gotta go back. Okay, about what we're seeing and what we're going to see. We were told a long time ago that everything would be revealed, but if you look at how this is all unfolding, and I did an analysis with the AI on how we could possibly, and how long it's going to take to break this control structure. We could have done it in as little as months to 2 years if he would have collapsed the world economy. But people would, and that's why it's being dripped out. People couldn't have made it. They would have been killing themselves all over. If they just release all of this stuff at once, people will definitely, there'll be a lot of suicides, in my opinion. There'll be a lot. So it's going to be done, and it's going to be done right. From everything I'm seeing, that's what's taking so long. They're saving people, even though some people are being sacrificed in this. And that's a very sad thing. What I told my neighbor just the other day is, it's so important, guys. It's so important. I'm 71 years old. I'm healthy. I hope I'm going to make it, but I don't know any more than you guys do. Like Dan, my God, that was such a shock. Dan was my age, and boom, 6 months and he's gone. So I don't know if I'm going to make it, but here's what I hold in my heart. That whether I make it or whether I don't, this thing is so much bigger than I am. This is saving mankind, guys. We were going towards extinction of our consciousness. We were literally this world was going to be destroyed. So those of us that do become victims in this whole thing, soldiers, I like to call us, if it happens, just know that it's not over, because that energy never dies. We will come back. Who knows where, when, or what we'll be doing. We don't know that. But I do know, with every fiber in my being, I know that those that are being sacrificed right now are saving mankind. And it had to be this way. So it's tough, but I don't think, Susan, that you're going to see the horrible pictures that you walked into. And what I can tell you is that I'm the kind of person that I can't get enough information, and I went down every rabbit hole you could imagine back then, and it nearly destroyed me. So be careful. Surround yourself with beauty. Surround yourself with the positive vibes, and surround yourself with the knowledge that that is past. That's history. Would you keep watching something over and over again that's been stopped? Yeah, there's trickles of it all over, just like we saw with the 8 children, or 14, however, I think it was 8 children that were rescued. Yes, there's trickles of it, but compared to the mass amount, imagine 70% of the control structure, and that's not just the entertainment brainwashing industry. That's just not Congress. That's not the people that are making our food and poison. It's many, 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 many of them. They were all somehow giving up these loyalty things to get where they got. And many times that included the sacrifice of children. So, Timmy's channel is Timmy Rocks. I'll put it in. He's a drummer. I'll put it in the thing. Just look up Timmy Rocks, Timmi Rocks. I think he's calling it Rock Radar. And he's drumming. He's talking about music trivia and stuff, because he knows everything you ever want to know about any rock band. I've been telling him to do one on that blonde singer that just died. Not Melissa Etheridge, was it? He wasn't a big fan, but I told him to do it. You got to run with the trends that are trending. Let's see. I don't think anyone believes in EBS anymore. Really? Well, I do. They were saying 6 years ago and any day. Well, you have to understand, Charlie Ward videos kind of ruined it for many. Yeah, I know. And so what I look at is, was he on the right side? I don't know. I don't care. What I see is every day, in multiple ways, things are getting better and better. We're seeing these people being busted. We're seeing exposures. We're seeing resignations. We're seeing deaths, or apparent deaths that maybe occurred a long time ago. We don't know. But I still think they're going to do the EBS. I really do. I think it's critical to turn over the banking systems, if nothing else. So when you see the Fed falling or getting really weak, which we're seeing, soon you're going to see SCOTUS come out and give him the right to fire the Federal Reserve people. So I think that's what we're going to see. But I haven't given up on the EBS yet. But you're right. Charlie Ward ruined it for a lot of people. Yep. Susan, protect your feelings. Okay. Yes. And Susan, hook up with Patricia. She is a wonderful resource. She's evolved immensely. She's healed herself. She is healing herself. None of us are ever completely healed, of course, but she's healing herself every day. And she can help you also. Listen to her. She's very wise. See, but don't absorb. There you go. See it. Here's another thing, Susan. Close your eyes. Create a shield around you, an energetic shield. Project that shield around you. It's an invisible shield, and nothing that you don't allow into it can penetrate it. And that way, don't absorb it. If you run across this stuff, and quit looking, it's really bad. I promise you, there's the worst possible things that these whack jobs are doing, things that you and I are incapable of even imagining. So I would work on healing myself, making myself healthy for what's about to come, instead of focusing on that crap. But I've been there, and I understand. Believe me, I understand why you want to know all this stuff. That's why I did the Deal with the Devil video that I just did about Hollywood and how the musicians work. Is I wanted to frame it in a way that wasn't scary to you, so that you guys understood that it is real, that these things are very real, but that it's not a man in horns. Nobody's pulling strings. Basically, it's deals. Here's the money. Here's the money. Here's the money. Everything runs on money, guys. That is what the control system, the control matrix runs on, is money. And Trump is now using that money. And I'll say it again because I think it's important to understand, is that, and yeah, I'll put Timmy Rock's channel in there. It's important to understand. Oh, I'll get to that in a second, Tony. It's important to understand that this matrix is being destroyed from within. Trump passed an order recently, an executive order, paying doctors to go over your drug regimen and remove drugs from it that you don't need. Now, how sick is that you got to pay doctors to do their job? But Big Pharma is paying them to give the drugs to you. So Trump is using the exact same mechanisms to destroy the structure from within. And he's paying them to do the right thing. And I think we're going to see a lot of that. Let's see. Den says, if medbeds are real and replicators are, real means you are light. Exactly. Exactly. We are light beings. And I'm going to put that document again because it can't be seen enough. It's called the Gateway Experience. I'll put it in here. It's a declassified document. And guys, if you want to know, I did a lot of videos on this, but sometimes I know you have to hear it over and over and over again. Meow. Sometimes you have to hear it over and over again. But the Gateway Experience document was one of the most critical documents that I've ever seen released. And that's because it told us exactly the mechanisms within our brain that heal our own body, and how these med beds work, that they create this frequency, this blueprint, they project it onto us, and our mind, our brain has this frequency following. That's why, did you ever see how you hang around somebody that's a real jerk and they're nasty about everything and you become like that? That is your brain doing a frequency following loop. If you hear constant negative stuff, negative, like we were just talking about with these children that Susan mentioned. I think it was Susan that mentioned, no, it wasn't Susan. It was somebody mentioned it. But when you see this horror over and over again, and that pain and that hurt, your brain is following that frequency, and it will affect your health all over. So I'm going to link the Gateway Experience because, yes, we are light beings. Let's see. Oh, yes. I looked at that, Tony, on Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is like 20 years younger than she is. So I just don't see it happening. I don't know if you've seen pictures of her, but she's much older, much older Let's see. What the hell's her name again? I looked that up. I remember Shrek. Give me your name again, real quick, and I'll look it up. Birthday. I think it was nearly 20 days. LaVey's daughter. Xena was born in 63. Taylor Swift, I'm not a big... So we got 63 versus 89. So we're talking 26 years difference. I don't think it is. I think it's just more, people searching for attention. They plant disinformation all the time, and they mimic the white hats or truthers that are on the right side. The dark ones deliberately mimic being Trump supporters. Prime example was J6. Dark FBI agents were all over that audience acting like they were Trump supporters, riling up the Trump supporters, breaking into the windows, and they never got arrested, did they? The Trump supporters did, that did nothing. So they masquerade as being the truth, but they're liars. And I don't know why they do that, just to throw us off the path of clarity or whatever. I don't see it happening. I need more evidence to say that she is indeed Taylor Swift. Let's see. I didn't start learning about this when I joined. I've been following this nonsense for years, just like the energy. Oh, okay. Just keeps going like the Timex watch. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. And it's been a long time, Jeff. And your situation is very special, too, because who the hell would have ever predicted that when you started and you're in imminent need? So I get that. But I do see changes happening. I really, really do. It had to be this way, Jeff. Everybody, it had to be this way. Oh, laughter is healing. Then why can't I watch the Three Stooges? That's my goofy husband. You watch them all the time. I just don't want to watch them. Okay. Now you see the inner workings of Spirit's household. And then Patricia says, Tahoe, it's war. It is war. If you guys don't get it, this is the biblical war between good and evil. It's always been, it always will be, and it will come back. It has come back many times. So what we're hoping to do here is we're hoping to get us into onto exoplanets so that we can preserve what we have here. And it will reoccur. It may be a couple hundred years, it may be thousands of years. But evil will always, it's necessary. I made that discussion somewhere with somebody about there is no meaning to good unless it's compared with evil. And we simply, it's a necessary element. And the seed of each is in the other. So evil's never going to go away, but this is the biblical war. And that's why the Bible's right, because it knew that. It keeps occurring. It occurred in the Roman days. It occurred all over. It's occurred many, many times in history. Evil took over. They oppressed the people, and the people fought back. And that's where we're at. We're in a huge part of history. No one is to blame. This was a huge undertaking worldwide. Yeah. No judgment, just roll with it day by day. That's all you can do, guys. You can bitch and moan and complain and and that's what's happening. The dark ones want us to be angry. They want us to give up. They want us to quit manifesting this technology. Don't let them do it, guys. We're stronger than that. We've got to support each other. Jeff says lots of elderly people will be long gone before we see this. I don't think so. I really don't, Jeff. It's so close. Again, I don't know if were you on when we talked about the Three Gorges Dam? Because we were always told, if you're a nun, we were always told, watch the water. the Three Gorges Dam was going to be the last marker, and it's flooding. It's got sediment coming up high. It's about to breach the dam, I believe. And when we see that, I think, man, it's just going to be a snowball downhill after that. I don't know what Timmy's. Oh, Timmy rocks. Yes, support him. Thank you. And you've been great. I know you've been on the channel. Tim talks about you all the time, Patricia. We love you. We love you so much. Then there's Carrie Underwood, who made it huge, but she and her husband are open Christians, so you never know. Yeah, and well, look at Mel Gibson, right? Also, he's a Christian. He made it, and he turned on them, and he lived to tell. It's just amazing. I don't think she would sell out either, but you never know. Let's see, I missed somebody there. Donald. Hi, Donald. Good to see you, Donald. Dan, very few people know that the N-word DJT said you can't say is NESARA. Also, NESARA can only happen after you have currency that is asset backed. This is very true. But now wait, let me just clarify that again from what I see. Hi, Wolfie. He's not a black cat. He's kind of stripy, but I don't know if you can see the stripes on him. But he always wants to be in the middle of this podcast for some reason. I don't know what his deal is. He's weird. But so the NESARA thing about the asset-backed currency, we're already seeing elements of NESARA. And that was with that Trump accounts for the children. We were told that that would happen under NESARA. So whether it's going to be the law, doesn't matter how we get it, whether it's that particular law, you know, we don't need to argue about the names or the minutia of anything. What we need to understand is the big concept. And yes, I believe so too, that there's going to be lots happening, lots more, but it's already starting to trickle in, the elements of NESARA that I've seen anyway. And I think we will have that. But again, something's going on with SCOTUS, because they've got to allow him to fire and dissolve, or somehow make this Fed impotent. From what I understand, it's got to be done by Congress, but who knows? Who knows what he's got up his sleeve? Shelley, observe info, don't absorb. Exactly. You guys are getting really wise. Saying that on Judy Byington's Restored Republic on, oh, is she saying that too? Okay. Judy's saying it also. Okay, well, I haven't watched Judy since I started this channel. I used to watch every one of these people. And I always respected Judy because I know her background. But I haven't watched them, so you guys have to keep me abreast. The Three Stooges is a guy thing. There you go, Timmy. It's a guy thing. That's why I don't like it. I don't like the violence of it, I think, is my deal. Agree. Dale agrees. You like the Three Stooges, Dale? I don't like the violence. Why are they hitting each other? Operation Mass Arrest. All 700, this is by Shelley, all 705 began 847 federal judges, 456 CIA officials, 234 senators and congressmen, 678 FBI officials were arrested at the Pentagon. Oh, is this what Judy's saying? Yeah, okay, that's what Judy's saying. I don't know. I don't know if it's happened yet. We've seen these arrests forever and ever and ever again. And like I said, I always took everything she said. I believe her. I trust her to a point. Bonnie Tyler, that's the one. You should have done something on her. Were arrested at the Pentagon. I heard that ages ago too, but those faces are sure showing up again every day. And I just can't imagine. I would tend to disagree with that many arrests happened already. But we're going to see these arrests. We've got to see these arrests, guys. We've got to. I don't see how they can get away without showing us the arrests. I have a great little prayer of protection I say every day and protect myself with a column of white light. That's what you need to do. She's not crazy, guys. She's telling you the truth. Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, and the Disney kids. Christina, yeah. It's sad. It's really sad. Justin Timberlake, I guess he's adapted, but Britney, Christina had her moments. Who's the other one? There's two other ones. Amanda Bynes. I'm sure there's lots of them. Oh, I love those balloons. How did I get them? Somebody do that? Where did those balloons come from? I love them. Oh, there's a video on Restored Republic about those. I'm sure there is. I just don't think it's happened yet. That's just my feeling. Guys, I'm happy to say I could be wrong. The problem is that when I was watching all these guys, I was more than happy to look at them and believe them without research. But now that I have this channel, I take it as a great responsibility. And I have to have proof before I will tell you something. I'm not going to go out and I'm not going to repeat or parrot things, let's say, until I can confirm them. And that's just, I have to maintain credibility. If we lose our credibility, we lose everything, guys. Ray Epps. Yeah, Ray Epps to prison. I remember Ray Epps. Tell me about that. That was the guy with the J6. Did he go to prison? I didn't hear that. But he needs to if he hasn't, yes. And then Tahoe says there was a story years ago about Jodie Foster being someone else. They were showing the ears and proof. They do that all the time. She was really a head UN leader or something. Is it possible? Anything is possible, guys. Anything is possible. Remember that. And I think Jodie Foster signed the deal. That's just my thoughts on that. Even though she stays in the background, they haven't rolled her out, so to speak, yet. But whether she was involved as the head of the UN leader or something, I think that's a confabulation, in my opinion. But anything is possible. Called The Fall of the Cabal, for anyone new. That is an amazing series. You know, she died or was killed. The woman, what was her name that did the Fall of the Cabal series? I forget her name. Who did? These are excellent if you can still find them. I watched them years ago, and actually it went on for many years. What was her name? It was a long name, I want to say. I'll have it for you in a second. Janet Osabard. And I believe she's been gone. She's been out of the picture for several years now. But if you can find it, it's Janet OSSE. In fact, maybe I can type it here. Hold on. Maybe I can. I'm not sure if I can type on the thing. But I'm going to put her name. And if you guys can find this. There we go. Fall of, and it's a whole series. So it's very educational. If you haven't seen it already, it puts a lot of things together. Okay, let's see. Oh, Jeff's been here from the start. Good. Pretty, yeah, you've been here. I remember that. Spirit, there's a video. Okay. Right. Epps to prison. There was a story year ago. I don't know about Jodie. Yep, Follow the Cabal. I just put it down there. It is awesome video. It's more than one video, guys. There's a whole series. I think there's 8 of them. It's 10-part series. And I'm going to show, it's on YouTube. Follow the Cabal. I'm just going to show you this real quick so you know what to look for now that I found this function. Okay, so there you go. The Fall of the Cabal. This is part 5 that I happened to pull up. But if you play all, well, no, I don't want to play that. Hold on. But you can see here, and they're long. Whoa, hold on. Each one is at least an hour or more. Oh, there's 9 unavailable videos hidden. Wonder if they took them down. If you can find them, because they're great. All right, let's take that off. Lady, let's see. That made the video, passed away like 2 years ago. Yeah, Janet did. You're right. I thought she might be 2. There's a couple of them that years ago went that she might be under protective custody. I agree. Your husband's 100% disabled. Well, here's what I say, Susan. Don't look at days. Don't count days on a calendar. Look at events. Because there are events that we were told were various markers that were going to happen. And many of these markers have already happened. You're going to see, I think first, they said, I think that the Fed is going to happen after the dam. I just have a feeling about that. I don't know, but let's see. Now, Jeff says Judy is putting out info that everything is happening as we speak. I believe they are. A lot of things are happening. Even dates are put out. I think Judy is a bit whacked. I watch WTPN every night. If you don't know Judy, she is an expert in trauma, and what I can tell you, it's satanic trauma specifically. And I can't speak to Judy because I haven't seen her in a couple years. But what I can tell you is my observation from someone that I know. I haven't met her face to face, but we've talked many late nights, texted back and forth. And she was a playmate, Playboy bunny. And I believe that a lot of these victims to this abuse have been flipped. They're working for the Democrats. I don't think it's deliberate, but they are being brainwashed like everybody else is. That why isn't Trump putting out the files? Why isn't Trump remember all that crap? Why isn't Trump putting out the files? Well, he's putting out the files. The fact of the matter is that the Biden administration, or not the Biden administration, the FBI, because Biden is nowhere, right? The FBI destroyed any evidence related to him, I believe, long time ago. All the videos and stuff that were in any way something that could take somebody down or implicate somebody in these evil doings, I believe that they were destroyed. There's a chance that we have them. There is a chance that we have them with McCaffrey, but because I think he's still alive too, and he protected the government computers. But I believe that a lot of evidence they'd be stupid not to destroy evidence of their crimes before they left, and they knew Trump was coming in. So I think they've been long gone. But they are flipping victims of ritual abuse left and right. I see it all the time. So I don't know about Judy. I haven't watched her, but whether she's whacked or what, I like her. I feel bad for her, but I can't, until I can prove something she says, I can't say it. Shelley, yes, there are 3 versions of the fall of, okay, Charlie, Freak, Janet, Asabard, and Cynthia. I haven't heard of, now Nick, I didn't know he did that Fall of the Cabal series. Nick did the one of the capitulation. He did that. I pretty much summarized what he did. I haven't seen Nick in a while either. I know he got caught up in some arguing with the whole truther group, and I think he kind of regretted that. He was following some people that were kind of wanting to get into some matches with others and, exposing others. So you think Janet was, I think she was too. She knew too much. I think she was rescued too. Okay, that's what you saw, Shelley. Okay, good. If DJT shows proof of election interference by other countries, and you're absolutely right. You made a good point there, Dan, because it's the foreign interference act that he's using. Doesn't mean it can't include people here that are not foreigners. But if you remember correctly, I don't know if you guys remember, a long time ago, it was released, there was an announcement by an Italian prime minister or something that admitted to election interference by Italy. Do any of you guys remember that one? I forget his name. Italian official who did a video admitting to U.S. election. And that could be what we're about to see, guys, on Thursday night. Don't tell me you're not working. Yep. Grok kind of cuts you off real quick, don't they? But I'm finding that I'm censored more on some of the others, so I tend to use Grok a little more for things that I think will be censored. They're trying to give me Italian official, admits in effect, so let me go back to this while I'm getting, oh yes, that's his name. D'Elia, his name was Arturio. Let me put this up for you. And this may be what we're going to see. Okay. His name was Arturio D'Elia. and he was an IT specialist, not the prime minister. And he was a former employee of Leonardo, which was an aerospace and defense company. In 2020, he was arrested in Italy as part of an investigation into hacking and data theft at Leonardo. A pro-Trump group called Nations in Action released a press release claiming that he had confessed. I saw the video, and he did confess to using Leonardo's satellites and systems in Italy to interfere in the 2020 presidential election. This became known as Italygate. I don't remember that. See, now this part that I'm seeing Grok say by the Policy Center, my recollection is he did admit, because they're saying that he denied involvement. He and his lawyer claim the claims are pure fantasy. I think that's disinformation, because I saw that video years ago. And it may have been scrubbed or what, but we may be seeing that. We'll see. Time will tell. Okay, let's see. MSM, I believe, is on the clock. Possibly Project Odin Thursday. Project Odin. Project Odin. Oh, so many projects. What the hell is Project Odin? What? And I know the name quite well. Project Odin. Open source curriculum, full stack web development curriculum, popular community-driven resource. Oh, I see. Designed to take learners from having zero programming knowledge. Huh, that's not what you're talking about. The Odin programming language. Is that what you're talking about? Some kind of programming? I heard it as something else. I don't know. Have to help me out on that one, Den. It's on Rumble, okay. Oh, yes, the series is still on Rumble. Good. But it's been taken off. Okay, gotcha. Loved all 3 versions. Janet wrote on COVID and more on BitChute, Rumble, I think YouTube. They won't disappoint. It's on Rumble. Gotcha. That's where I saw it. I used to be on Rumble a lot more. I came to YouTube because I felt Rumble had a lot of people out there with disinformation. And those people already knew something was dark and something. Even if it was disinformation, they were well informed. I came to YouTube because I wanted to reach the people that were clueless, that didn't have a clue, that were going to begin waking up to all this and start hearing things and start flipping and turning their minds and waking up. That's why I came to YouTube. But I do have a Rumble channel. I just don't monitor it as well as I do the YouTube. The YouTube and X are my 2 big ones where I'm at. Charlie Freak talks about Taylor Swift being a good person infiltrating the cabal. I don't think she's a good person. Oh, you know, that just tells me that Charlie is on the wrong side, because when you look at her, boy, I don't know. Did she turn into a dirty whore because she's masquerading and being part of them? You know, anybody that infiltrates the cabal is playing with fire, in my opinion. Even the way Trump is doing it and the way that Elon is doing it, going against the cabal has got to be open, right? I mean, who would do it secretly? No, you got to come out and you got to call these people out. So I don't buy that. And then the fact that Charlie is saying that makes me think that he's not legitimate too. We'll see. That's the thing, guys. Take everything with a grain of salt here, guys. This is a movie. We're watching it. We don't know the ending yet. We're watching it. But I personally think I watched her because Tim loves her, and not anymore so much, but I watched her go from, you know, the innocence that she was, and Tim knows the whole story about her. I guess she wasn't approached by the machine. She pretty much got famous on the internet first, and then just like Bieber, after Bieber got famous and started getting an audience, a good audience, then they went in and they grabbed him and took control. I think that's the same thing that happened to her. You think the info is, but now here's the thing, Shelley, too. 2020 is not even close to over yet. You're absolutely right. But here's the thing. Remember, that an announcement by Trump is not going to overturn the election. I did some research on this and several times, and I revisited this in the last couple days. Turning over the election isn't going to be that easy. It's never been done. Actually, I think it's been done once before, but it wasn't the presidential election. It was a local election. So to turn that over, there's so many things. But when you look at it, it's certainly the perfect storm, isn't it? You've got the auto pen. You've got the very obvious election interference going on. I mean, anybody that didn't see the ballots being shoved into the boxes, 30, 50 of them at a time, 100 at a time, that didn't have a problem with the paper being put up over the polling station windows. Come on. If you didn't catch on that there was election interference at that point, then you're not wanting to see it. It's very simple. So I think something else is going to have to happen. I think, let me see. Election. No, it wasn't that. No, it wasn't that. It's going to take Congress, is my understanding, guys, to turn that election over. It's been certified. They certified it. So I don't think it's going to turn over on Thursday. I think he's going to announce an investigation. Or actually, yeah, that an investigation has been underway. And now somehow it's got to go. It's going to hit so many things. It's going to hit the machines, right? It's going to hit the no longer Dominion. I forget what they're called now, but they sold out. But it's going to hit the machines. It's going to hit the mail-in ballots. It's going to hit all of these people. Like I said, there were just people that were arrested very timely. That husband and wife team that were just arrested, and he was running the election in his area. So Illinois State Representative Carol Ammons and her husband, the Champaign County clerk, were indicted. Oh, that was for donations. There was somebody who was recently busted. Oh, yeah. No, that's not it. But somebody that was recently busted that was a chairman. Was it in Nevada? That they were arrested or indicted for election fraud. I can't remember who it was now. Gosh, so much. I apologize. But I'm just kind of winging it here. Odin is part of the Starlink and will take down the Mockingbird media system. See, that didn't come up, did it? Okay, so that's the context that I have heard of it before too. Will it happen? We'll see. Watch the movie, guys. Yeah, you stopped listening to Charlie when he said that. Yeah, Charlie. You see, that's the thing, guys. That's what they do. They set people up there as authorities, and they take you down these paths that. And I think a big part of the ones that came out when Charlie first came out was all about pushing that information out there about the med beds, about everything. Yeah, it's coming. You're going to sign up. You're blah, 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 and all that stuff, just to wear us down. How many years can people listen to that before they're like, I'm done. I give up. Jeff is, he's so disenchanted by how long it's taking. We all are. That stuff should have never come out back then. I don't think it was part of the original disclosure effort. I think it was the dark ones knowing that this was happening, seeing into the future, and already planting seeds. I think Charlie was a freak too. Jeff, I just said, Jeff, we'll never see the ending of this movie either, not in our time. Speak for yourself, buddy. I'm old too, and I'm going to make this. It can and will continue to the next administration. Here's what we were told about that, Jeff, so that you understand. And it's not what we were told. It's history, basically, that Trump is the cleanser. That's his job. They also talk about somebody coming in and rebuilding. And it's not clear whether Trump is the cleanser or whether he is also going to bring all this technology to us. So you may be right that he leaves before it comes out, but and you know, it's kind of odd because with a man with such big ego, he certainly is taking his place in history seriously, and he's being very compliant and obedient. He's taken the role on in a great way, in my opinion. And it could be after Trump leaves, but what we know is that the transition will be complete by 2030. I've heard this repetitively by people that I trust, that the shift will be complete by 2030. That gives us 4 years, guys. Whether Trump's in, whether Trump's out, I don't know. But I would venture to say that the med beds will be here before 2030. Absolutely. Hopefully much sooner. I don't know what's going on with my chest here. I'm feeling a little tickle in my throat. And yes, we did hear that military is the only way. And that's kind of why I'm thinking that we're going to see the lockdowns. That's why I think that that's critical. We've got to lock these people down. We've got to stop them from leaving the country. Yes, we can get them anywhere, and yes, there's other countries on board, and we saw that where we just brought that guy back, the fraudster that Nick Shirley exposed with the whole Somalian thing, the one that was the lady that was running the whole thing apparently, or at least one node of it she was running, because I never say the whole thing. If there's one, there's thousands, guys. There's thousands of these fraudsters. And so, yeah, I want to know what. Oh, let me go back to the movie now before we go, because I know Suzanne said we should keep it. That's the thing, Dan, not seeing what we should be seeing. We've been lied to our entire lives. Now they want us to do a 180 and believe everything. No, don't do it, Jeff. Don't believe everything. You've got to reason it out. But you also have to understand that this is a movie. You know that. You've been watching it a long time. We've been told it's a movie. And I don't know what I would do in your position, Jeff. I honestly don't. I don't know. I can't speak for anybody else's state and where they're at right now. But we have been lied to our whole lives. But look at this, Jeff. You must see the change. You must see the demons fighting at every step they can to destroy this man. So I'm not quite sure whether you think he's going to be destroyed and not accomplish the goal, or why you don't think that this second term, it's obvious the first term, he set up the laws, he set up the structures. He may have even set up, and I'm still doing that, when he said he signed the Declaration of Independence. Trump said that, apparently. At least I've heard that. I have to go back and find that somewhere. It was on a 4th of July before he left. I need to look into that. But so what is your thing? Are you not seeing that the cabal, the puppets of the cabal, the deep state is dying? Can you not see that, or you just time-wise don't think it's quick enough? I'm not quite sure how to interpret that. I know it's a movie. Remember the phrase, we can tell you, but we need to show you. Yes, for us to make a change. Yes, we're not seeing, only hearing. See, I disagree, Jeff. I disagree. We're seeing a lot. We are seeing this thing crumble. Gosh, you know, I'm going to make a video, and you better watch it, Jeff, with all of the changes that we've made that are consistent, things that have already happened that are consistent with the overturn of the deep state. Because I see it every single day. Every day I see another step towards what we were told back in 2016 and 17 mostly, and beyond. But I am seeing those changes. There's little things, but we had to clean out Congress. We've got to clean out the courts. Look, okay, yes, SCOTUS is one thing, right? And we still got them in there, the dark ones. But look at all these judges all over that are being exposed. None of this ever happened. Congress, the Democrats, haven't brought the SCOTUS in since 2019. Why are they bringing them in there now to bully them? Why? Everything's changing. They're freaking. If somebody doesn't see the deep state and their puppets freaking out, then somehow I'm not getting across everything that's happening. And I need to clarify that a little better. Yes, Dan makes a good point. Here's one thing, Jeff. You are an Anon, right? One thing that I've noticed is that everything about the Anons came out from a 3D perspective. What I mean by that is physical. They never spoke about the energetic nature of life, the energetic nature of us. They never brought in the 5D aspect of it. They did say 5D chess, but the Anons really didn't get that. They didn't understand what the fifth density is, how our powers will increase and so forth. So I agree with Den. You haven't discovered those powers yet. And I really, I'm going to do another one, another video too. Again, I put these things down for myself, but I need to make the gateway experience real to you guys, okay? And let you understand who you truly are. I have meditated, and I know a lot of you may not meditate, and I get that, and it's not necessary to evolve. You don't have to meditate to evolve. It helps, it makes things quicker, but there's many ways. But when I was younger, I meditated quite a bit. And my spirit has left my body. I have experienced extraterrestrial observations at least 3 times. One which was planned, and when I went to Colorado, we were told that the Galactic Federation would present itself. We were sitting there, and Elena was on a walkie-talkie, or not a walkie-talkie, some kind of apparatus, and she would say to us, okay, they're going to flash their lights. And I'll be damned if a few minutes later they didn't flash their lights at us. There's nothing that can convince me that the Galactic Federation of Worlds and Elena Denon is not the real deal. Everything else around it, everybody that is calling her a fake, everybody that is saying, you know, all this stuff about, oh, she's a different person, it's not the same. Bull. I have seen them. I have been at least twice that I'm aware of. I've had visions of being an infant. And actually very much like this movie, Disclosure Day. Just like those 2 people were sitting there, and they had this energy above them. I've had visions of that in meditation. So I understand that you may not meditate. You may not be connected to the vibrational aspect of it. Not a big deal. All I can say is open up. Give the other side, the good side, give the good side permission to talk to you. They don't have to infiltrate you, okay? And I have been infiltrated, which I believe was a dark entity, because it scared me. It was the greatest fear I've ever had in my life, where I literally was sound asleep. I sat up and I was frozen. And I remember this kind of like in the movie. They always tell you in the movies, kind of like in the movies where Whoopi Goldberg had that wind passing through her. That's exactly what it felt like, guys. Exactly. And it couldn't have been more than 5 minutes or 10 minutes at best. But I remember sitting there, and I was frightened out of my mind. And I was sitting up, and this entity was passing through me. God, I know I could lose some of you guys, and you think I'm nuts. But I swear to God, it was real. And it was a man that I was dating. The next morning, I said to him, I didn't say anything. I'm sorry. I didn't say anything at first. And he said to me, I didn't mean to scare you last night. I'm like, Well, you did. You scared the hell out of me. He said, I just wanted to be close to you. I didn't mean to scare you. And I literally had another energy pass through me. Well, that relationship didn't last long because he was dark and I learned it real quick. But I'm just saying there's more stuff going on, guys. And until you connect with that and realize it, but it's a fine line that we walk between opening our hearts up to the good and allowing the dark to enter. You've got to put that shield up. You've got to tell yourself that you will not ever entertain dark entities and that you are open to inspiration, let's call it, from the light. That's all I can say. Until somebody has experienced the kind of experiences that I've had, I'm sure maybe one day we need to talk about this, but I was born on Fort Bragg. I have no memories up until we moved to Florida. I've told you this story before. Catholic school, my whole life in Catholic school was very strange. And I was put in positions in a convent where they don't allow people normally. So there was some weird, funky stuff going on. And Susan says, Susan Nachman insists that she knows that I'm a starseed. I never looked at it. I don't know. It doesn't matter whether I am or whether I am not, as long as I'm fulfilling my purpose. You know what I mean? So, so I can only say that I get it, Jeff. I get it, how disillusioned you are. You are energy. You are light. You are the creator within you. Please understand that you are the creator. The creator. Now, of course, there's semantics. The creator is the whole of all energy, let's say. You are a spark. You are a fractal, as my friend Dan Willis would say. You are a fractal of the creator. Okay? You are designed in the creator's image. All this crap that we heard for years, but they never really clarified it, did they? I truly believe this. I know it. It goes beyond belief. I know it because of what I've seen in my experiences. So I can only say to you, Jeff, that I understand, but I want you, if there's any way possible, I want you to listen to beautiful vibrations, beautiful frequencies. There's a playlist, and I'm going to give it to you again in this. Just play it, okay? Play it, do affirmations, do whatever you can, but pull yourself out of that feeling of helplessness, that nothing can help you, that the whole world is dark, because it's not. There's a lot of good people here. There's a lot of good people, and they're fighting for humanity. So align with them. Love the beauty in your life. See the beauty in your life, because it exists whether you know it or not. You don't have cancer, right? That's really a good thing. That's something somebody told me a long time ago. And this is not, I know some of you do have cancer on here. Doesn't mean it can't be overcome. But what I'm saying is that our beautiful Patricia, she is an empath, we call it. Her feelings take over sometimes. And a long time ago, I learned that we can control those feelings. We can align with dark or light vibrations, and they clearly, guys, believe me, I was suicidal. I had a gun in my mouth at one point before I met Tim. I can promise you that aligning yourself with the proper frequencies will change your life. Overnight, it will change things. You may still die. You still may be sick, but it will change your whole perspective, because you have to remember, nature is always behind our thoughts. So the thoughts happen, but the body has to create those thoughts. So don't give up, guys. Don't give up. It's coming. Because if you give up right now, you're going to miss the best comeback that's ever happened in the history of this world. Don't give up. It pains me, but I understand. It pains me to see people disappointed. Now let me go what Jeff said. Congress was cleaned out in 17 or 18. They are still talking about these criminals like they are still walking the earth. I don't know that they were cleaned out yet. I just don't know that yet. I'm not seeing evidence, and I need evidence of that. So what you have to consider, they won't be remembered. Yeah, they won't be remembered as time goes on. I agree with that part. But keep in mind that everything we heard, Jeff, some of it was dark, some of it was light, some of it was to bring you to exactly the point where you are now, whereas screw it, I've heard it long enough, it's all lies. And I think you have to get past that and understand that maybe it was dark forces that were releasing all this information before for the exact purpose of eroding our spirit. Let's see. Shelley says, we have to remain positive. We absolutely must align with beauty, with hope. We have to, because that's what aligns our bodies to the healthy frequencies. Live on our energy. What Lush, I hadn't heard that one before. We are a fractal of Source Creator and are so powerful. I love Elena Denon. I've learned so much from her. I've witnessed a Tic Tac. Oh, have you witnessed it? You've witnessed a Tic Tac. Cool. Let's see. Did I ever see a Tic Tac? Mine were more TR3Bs. I don't know if I saw a Tic Tac. Maybe I have to go back and see if I can remember the visions. The first time I ever saw an ET was in Grayton Beach, Florida, up where I wanted to do ExPharmacon, where all the beach is crystal and stuff, and there's Air Force bases on either side. And I was sitting there with a friend, and both of us saw it. It was very, very obvious. Another time I was with a second person. And the second time I saw him, I was in Tampa Bay, Florida. And I was in the car, and we stopped the car to see it. And both of us saw it. And then, of course, the third time was I was with over 1,000 people in Colorado, and we saw it. Let's see. We are a fractal of, yeah, we absolutely are a fractal of the Creator. There's no doubt in my mind. Shelley says a Tic Tac is a Pleiadian ship. I saw it come out of a cloud. Wow. I believe it was a portal, and it was there. I want to get to that movie because it's really cool. What that movie for like a minute, and then it disappeared. Mine were a little longer than a minute. Actually, we sat there going, "What the hell?" You know, we kind of looking up, and the one in Colorado was amazing. That thing had to last 40 minutes. I'll bet you. It feels like it lasted 40 minutes, but we were communicating with the ships back and forth, which was really cool. One thing that I know is that when you're looking at them, they know you're looking at them. There is this telepathic communication. Have a good evening, everyone. Susan, you're leaving. I have a helper coming at 4 p.m. Love you, sweetheart. Love you. Thank you. Thank you for contributing your energy. I listen to these frequencies at night going to bed to sleep. Good. I listen to ones every night. Perfect. Perfect, Jeff. Perfect. Keep it up. Keep it up. You know, it's kind of weird, Jeff, because we have a little bit of a background ourselves, don't we? Jeff was so angry, so very angry not long ago. He had been ripped off. He had been, not physically, but what do you call that? He had been raped, not physically, but you know what I mean. His soul it was just so angry, and he had been abused so bad, and people hurt him and destroyed his life. And I know Jeff's been around for a while, but I remember that one conversation we had, Jeff. And I thought I lost Jeff forever. I thought you were going to the dark side. And I was so happy to see you. So it's slow. It doesn't happen quick, but it's slow. And I see you improving, Jeff. I feel you are. Shelley, bye, Susan. Have a blessed day. Yes. Thank you. You guys are great. Can you believe we have created this? When you come to the knowledge that you are God experiencing being you, and you are an eternal being. Exactly. You know, it's weird. When I was young, I used to screw with people. I have this sister who always wanted to save me, okay? She was a born-again Christian, and her whole job was evangelizing and saving the whole world, right? Saving everybody. And she was just not always the kindest person, you know? And she used to always pray for me. Me and my husband are praying for you because we're so afraid for you. And so I used to screw with her and say, I am God. And that, well, boy, she would just really go, you know, and that's when I was young and spunky, okay? And I've grown and matured since that. And I don't want to say I'm the whole of what God is, because I believe now that God is the entire energy system that exists. And I'm just one fractal of it. So I can no longer say that I am God, but I can say that I am a child of God. I am a daughter of God, a son of God, whatever you want to call it. But God is within me. And all those Catholic BS that they taught to us, that they drilled into our heads by the repetition, repetition. It all became very clear when I understood that God was not a man up there with a big long beard in a robe. That really threw me off, you know. So yes, that's absolutely. Look at Helen says goodbye to Susan. Helen, I wish I could have met you, sweetheart, because I really wanted to. We will soon. We will. Maybe the EBS needs to be run and show the movies and the people do. Yes, and that's what they've said, Jeff, is that there will be the movies for 3 days. And you know, I think they're monitoring this as far as there's a fine line that and I think, like I said, I think this has already been played out many times in war games. They know exactly when to move, they know exactly what to do, and exactly what the other side will do to every move they make. So I believe that it's going to happen. I think it's the only way is the military will come in, and they will take control, but it's got to be done slowly. And the EBS, will we see the horrors? We heard a long time ago, but who knows what's truth? We heard a long time ago that you would have the option to pay like a token amount to see executions and stuff like that. I have no desire to see any of that. I energetically feel the dark and the light, so I don't need to see the dark disappearing because I feel it, and I encourage you all to begin to feel. If you have to close your eyes, whatever it is, feel and trust. Trust your inner being. If you tell yourself, if you tell the universe that you will not allow infiltration by dark sources, that you've got that shield up there, please speak to me from the good source. I believe you'll begin to feel little things like I do. It was in that movie. I got to get to that movie. I'm going to do a whole video on it. I know I want to meet too. I think I'm going to meet Patricia because maybe the end of the year, she promised me. No, it's not a promise, no pressure. I understand. But she's going to be in Florida and hopefully we can meet up. So anybody's ever in Florida on this channel, let me know because I'm happy to drive to meet you guys. I mean, this is real, guys. I want to know every one of you. I want to meet every one of you. I want to hug you. I want to share my energy and I want to feel your energy. And if there's any way I can heal you, I want to hold you so tight and share that healing energy with you. So if you're in Florida, let me know. You're hearing what stories are you hearing, Helen? Similar stories. I missed that. Frequent. Okay. I didn't know where that was going, but I'm glad you guys are. The storm is upon us. Yep, it is upon us, and it's revealing, but it will pass. Yep, it will. Yes, you only see a craft when you're ready to witness it. I agree. That my first one happened. My first one happened. Let me see if I can put a time frame on this. It had to be about. I'm going to say about 2005, 2006. That's when I saw my first one. He stood there with the biggest smile and thanking them for allowing. What a wonderful way to communicate with them. Our so-called junk DNA is far from junk. Yep, you're right. You're absolutely right, Shelley. Greg Braden, I don't know him. I always go on here and mark what you guys say and do a little research on it. Oh, it's a course. I see the Shift Network. If he charges you, don't pay. You don't need to pay anybody for this crap. It's our God-given right, guys. Don't pay for courses, please. Yep, I know. Scammers scamming everyone. Jeff, It's all over, and that's why, Jeff, it's important. Just ask for that clarity. Ask for protection. Ask for protection against the dark forces. Listen to the frequencies. Close your eyes, and I don't have a visual ability, which apparently doesn't. It's not critical because I've never been able to visualize, and I've tried. I've actually taken courses on it, and I can't see things in my mind. But it's not necessary apparently because I feel them, and maybe that seeing sometimes could distract us from the feel of it all. But I can sense vibration very, very well. And okay, let me get to the movie because I know I don't want to run this too long on you guys. But Tim and I went to see the movie Disclosure. Okay, and I thought because Spielberg was in it, he produced it. He wasn't in it. He produced it. And I don't know if you visited the Epstein files, but Spielberg's son, I think it was setting up, or it appeared to be setting up dates with Epstein for women. So I kind of pretty much assumed he was on the dark side. Now, keep in mind, nothing's etched in stone and people are flipping all over the place, right? So I went in there thinking this was going to be total BS, deep state indoctrination. And I was pleasantly surprised, guys. It's all about get out, Helen, you do. You do? Well, let's do it. Let's do lunch someday. We can meet halfway in between. Okay. Let me figure out how to do that. Let's do it. I've got your email from ExPharmacon when you registered for ExPharmacon. Let me send you a thing and we'll make up a date. We'll have a date. How's that? So anyway, so this movie, let me put that down here. Contact Helen Wheels. Date time. Okay, so I was pleasantly surprised because the whole movie Disclosure Day, it wasn't about the ETs. It kind of irked me a little bit that the only ETs that they displayed were grays. Grays aren't all bad. Some grays are good. Grays are hive minds, and they go wherever the control is. Kind of like many of these puppets in Congress. They are hive minded. So I'll send you an email. So the hive minds will go either way. So it kind of bothered me about that. But the whole thing was about energy, and it was about. Oh, you're on the Everglades. Cool. And the alligators. Maybe Naples-ish. Okay, so it was about energy. And they actually talked about, or they didn't talk as much as they showed you, about shape shifting. The one lead character, Emily Blunt, she shape shifted and she became, which we've seen in other things, she became, in order to approach people and get them to trust her and endear them and to influence them, she shape-shifted into someone that they loved and knew, someone that was familiar to them. So they talked about shape-shifting in that. They also talked about, oh, Dan, I wish I would have brought it downstairs with me. It's upstairs. The device that she held, and all of them held, both the good and the dark forces, held a device, right? And this device suspiciously looked like the Vogel crystal. Now, it wasn't crystalline looking. It was more of a metallic look, but it fit the shape of the Vogel cut crystal of Dan's that he used to cut, and it intensified the energy just like Dan's crystals do. So they brought that up. In the end, what happens is this Emily Blunt character. Oh, I'm sorry. Another factor. I don't want to give you the ending. I'm not going to do that because in case you want to see it. Although it's been out a month, so I assume whoever wanted to see it would see it. But they also discussed quantum entanglement. Although the words were never used, what it was is these people that they had encountered in their childhood, they had quantum entanglement with, and they later attract each other to the same place, and these two people were the ones that finally um, released disclosure on what was happening. They talked about the graves and how we found the spaceships at Area 51, and they had videos of them. And I have to wonder if those videos aren't real, because I had a friend that worked in Area 51 many years ago. Some of you might have heard me. I used to try and get him drunk and get stuff out of him. He was a communications expert, and he told me that he could be alien. So all of us could be. And if I'm a star seed, maybe I am. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I half am. I don't know. But so they talked about the people that were, they talked about entanglement concepts that have been denied for so long. So there was nothing in there that I felt led us away from the truth. Just the opposite. It led us to realizing that everything is energy, that we're energy, that we have the power over our energy, that we can project that energy, that we can affect others with that energy, that we can change the world with that energy. So for me, what I went in thinking was a very dark, deep state controlled narrative, I believe wasn't. Did he flip? I don't know. But I would recommend seeing it with you guys and the background that you have in it. I think most people, it goes right over their heads, because a lot of people that I saw online were saying, oh, it's BS, I didn't understand it, blah, 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 blah. You have to have the background to understand it. So if you can't go to the movies, that's fine, wait till it comes online. But I kind of think it was truly disclosure. So I recommend it. Let's see. The esoteric can't really be understood until you start to understand the quantum realm. Exactly. Although, I was in the esoteric realm in my 20s. The clarity, though, you're right, didn't come until my 60s or 70s of what was really going on there and how important it was. I'm going to do a little thing here. I don't know. That's going on the channel. I'm not getting them on my thing like I had those balloons. How do I get those? Besides the frequencies, all the walking I have to do has helped anxiety. And fantastic, Tahoe. I know I am an empath also. I too used to feel the awful feelings, but thankful. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy, baby. Now we just need to get you well, okay? P53. P53. I got to make sure you look at that. Okay. Heal yourself, baby. Heal yourself. You can do this. I know you can. Spirit, add Dynasty Electric to the frequency music. They have beautiful music. I listen to a lot of their music. Writing it down. See, I have a thing. I don't know what it is, but I have this special penchant for Lemurian frequencies. I don't know what it is. I relate a lot to Lemurians and the water aspect of it. Tim will tell you, I gotta be near the water. I drive him nuts trying to be on the water. So that's why I'm kind of heavily on the Lemurian. But each one of us relate to different things. You make a really good point. And maybe the frequencies that affect me don't affect everybody the same way. So I definitely will add some of those. I'll look at them and see what we got and add some of them. So, boy, we got 21 people. This is the most we've had on the live streams. I'm so thankful that we've got this. And it's looking good. All right, anybody else got anything to say? It's been 2 hours and 15 minutes, but there was a lot to go over today. So Friday, we've got the 4 p.m. stream. If you guys, please tell me if there's a better time for you. We're missing some people overseas that would like to be online. I can't possibly hit Australia because that's the middle of the night for me and not at my best time. But there are some times when I can adjust. So if there's a better time, by all means, drop the best time for you and we'll look at it and we'll try and meet what everybody has. Who knows? I think it's better to keep it on the same time so that everybody knows when to expect the streams, as long as I don't screw them up, of course. But other than that, I think it's best to keep them on the same times. But we can adjust it a little bit if somebody does better at 11 or whatever instead of 2, or if the 4 doesn't work. Just drop me whatever you can on those time frames. If this is working great, then fine, don't say a word. All right, so I think that's it for today. We've got Thursday night we're going to look at. Hopefully we'll hear some really good news about election fraud. And let's see. Oh, Donald, there's Donald. Okay, Donald, I've been awake to the bullshit and eval for 40 years now. I know we are winning this war, but it's painful sometimes. Tell Jeff that. Tell Jeff that. We are all seeing these. Everybody, I think so many of us are seeing the changes, and I am going to work on that. I've got that on here. Let me tell you, Shelley's an empath. One of my biggest lessons to learn is to control my heart and feelings, being an empath. Exactly. Oh, they have Lemurian music. Cool. Good to know. I don't know if I am. I mean, I became vegetarian in my 20s because of I felt the pain of the animals and stuff like that. But I have somehow learned to deal with the whole empath thing too. Like I said, I focus on the future. I focus on where we're going, not the past. I can't possibly watch all the horror that these people have done to our humanity and stay in the state that I'm in. If I sat and watched that all day long, I'd be a basket case, guys. Much love right back to you, Den. Jeff is still here. Good. Start waking up every day with gratitude. That's another thing. We haven't talked about this on the lives, but I pray every morning, Den. There's a really simple thing that is I found very effective. And again, everybody finds everything different, okay? Some things work for one person, they don't work for another. For me, affirmations, not affirmations, gratitude. Gratitude journal helped me a lot. All you do is you get up in the morning or bed, whatever, doesn't matter. But I like it in the morning because it starts my day out right, and it sets, oh, there's Pico coming down the steps. It sets my whole frequency for the whole day. But I like to get up. 3 things, gratitude, write them down. Jeff, I'm so glad that I'm listening to my frequencies every night. I'm so grateful and thankful that I'm listening to these frequencies. I'm so grateful that a little bit of the edge has been taken off and I'm softening. Whatever, it doesn't, I'm so glad that my car didn't break down this morning. I'm so glad that I walked to where I had to get today. I'm so glad. Gratitude is huge, guys. It's really huge. It's one of the highest frequencies. Love and gratitude is one of the highest, most healing frequencies. So if you haven't done it, get yourself a little journal of some kind and write down 3 things when you wake up. You open your eyes, just write them down. And I always like to put, I'm so grateful and thankful that. 3 things, done for the day, close it, and you're done. And it made a huge difference in my life, guys. That's how I pulled myself out of a very dark space. Big change when they turned off CERN. Donald, do you think that has anything to do with the ringing in the ears that's happening? Because like, I don't know if you were here early on, but the last 3 days, let me finish that. My thoughts come in from all different directions. The last 3 days I've been getting the ringing in the ears, and it had stopped for months. And I always think there's something going on with the atmosphere, the frequencies, whatever. I don't know, but it could have something to do with CERN. One thing I was going to say, Jeff, is remember, you're not praying to an external source, okay? Remember that. You have the power. I think what we've been taught our whole life is a very difficult thing to understand. We are not speaking to anybody but ourselves. Our brain is waiting there for commands. The brain is waiting for your direction. Give it the direction. Instead of saying, please send me this, the way to frame it is, I am now manifesting this, or I am now changing into this. I am now experiencing this. I am now feeling this. Don't say, please, God, send me this. Because God's like, hey, you got it within yourself. Do it yourself. the universe is waiting. The body, God is not outside of you. And when we continue to see God outside of us, then we kind of are impotent. We're waiting for somebody else to create our destiny. The destiny is right inside of you. Love to see the pets. Maybe Pico can come when we do lunch. I don't know. I know. I'm so happy for Tahoe. We lost you for a little while, Tahoe, and we were worried about you for sure. I'm so happy that you're doing well. And you will heal. You will heal. 2 p.m. is good for me. Okay. Fur baby is so precious. Best wishes to all. I'm still here. Want to say thank you. Now, I have to say thank you to every one of you. You guys have changed my life. This channel has changed my life. I needed it. I needed that 4D experience of all the bad shit that happened in my life. I needed that to move on to this next level. And I feel that people like Tahoe and people like Jeff that are experiencing these difficulties right now, you are moving into 5D, guys. Remember that. Focus on that. You are moving. You must pass through this, and something's going to happen where it's going to change. For me, it literally changed overnight. It was like a switch was turned on. I went through 10 years of hell, guys. Hell. Everybody isolating me. I had nobody. My day consisted of waking up and never getting out of bed and crying all day long. My daughter wouldn't even stop by when she drove past my house because she didn't want to see me in such a state. It went on for 10 years, okay? So I'm just saying that was my 4D experience, and we've heard about that many times, that 4D is often a time of great strife that propels us to the next level. So propel yourself into the next level, guys, because you can do it. You can absolutely do it. And Shelly's getting better and healthier every day, and it works. It does work. It really does. And I want to hear that. You pray with gratitude and for others and ask for only 3 things for myself. I thank God every day for he has saved my life literally 3 times. I shouldn't be here now. Yes, pray for others, control yourself. Pray for others and control yourself. Tell your mind what you want. Tell your brain. Tell that gateway in your brain that connects to the other side. Instruct it, just like you're giving it an instruction manual. This is what you're going to do. And the brain will follow. It won't be overnight. There's always a lag time. Remember that. There's always a lag time. And it needs to be consistency. People say, why can't I manifest? Helen, I'm whole, happy, healthy, and healed. Yep. Yep. Cindy's had her 4D experience. Yep. Isn't it amazing that that's why we have to that's that is a good one. I'm whole, holy, happy, healthy, and healed. That's a great so that you understand, if you didn't see it, Jeff, there's a great affirmation. I'm just going to repeat it because it bears repeating. Say it. How many times did I have Tim say it? 3 times. I gave him 3 affirmations to say 10 times, I think. I am whole, holy, happy, healthy, and healed. Whatever it is, you can go into Grok and ask for affirmations for your particular situation, and it will create them for you. Actually, ChatGPT is a little bit better for that, I find, for creating affirmations. Yes. If you've had your 4D experience, are you feeling a lot more? Are you sensing more? Are you connecting with the unseen realm more? Are you more compassionate, more connected to the good rather than the bad of the earth? That's what it feels like to me. Oh, yes, I've heard about that Course in Miracles. Came up with that affirmation. It's a good one. It's a very good one. Yep. So repeat that, guys. I am whole, holy, happy, healthy, and healed. Lots of H's in there, isn't there? Whole, holy, happy, healthy, healed. Wonderful. Okay. All right, guys. Friday. I hope I see all of you guys. I'm blessed, just like every one of you are blessed. Master Li Shen has great wisdom and affirmations. Li Shen. I don't know Li Shen. We'll look at it. You guys always tell me what you need and I'll do the research. Love you too, sweetheart. Okay, guys, gonna go. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet because Tim doesn't come home for another half hour. Well, sometimes even more than that. Sometimes he didn't get home until 6 or 7. But I know what I'm gonna do. Let me tell you what I've got in the works. Let me tell you what I've got in the works real quick. The movie Disclosure Day, I've got some stuff on that. Dan's emails on crystals will probably be the next. Crop circles. Susan told me that Dan is doing something with crop circles off world, and poof, this thing came up with these new crop circles that have been exposed. So I'm looking at that. Disclosure networks. I think I already did that one, didn't I? Yeah, that's final. So I did that one. And the CERN shutdown. I didn't really do anything. I noted it, but didn't do anything about that. Okay, so that's what's coming there. The Clean Living channel. So Disclosure Day, Dan's crystals and crop circles are coming up on this channel. The other channel, we have still got adrenal fatigue. I haven't seen our beautiful Vixen today. Ginger beer is coming up. We're getting low on that. We're going to make some brownies soon because I'm almost out. I have turmeric on here, and we did the water filters. That's complete. Okay, so we've got stuff like that. I'll put the link to the Clean Living channel in there if you want to get healthy. And I love you guys the most. And I'm grateful and thankful for every one of you sharing your energy. That's what we're doing here, guys. We are sharing energy, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love you. See you soon, okay? Thursday night, we're going to have a lot to talk about Friday. We'll see what happens Thursday. Okay, bye-bye. I love you. Bye-bye. All right, now I got to figure out how to shut this thing off, huh? End it. Okay, bye, guys. Love you.